If you're a new gun buyer trying to decide what kind of pistol that would suit your needs the best, we're going to go over two different kinds today. This is a striker fired handgun. This is a double action, single action handgun. Neither have any magazines in them. Both have been checked quite a bit. So we're just going to go over the differences real quick. This isn't geared towards experienced shooters, but if you are an experienced shooter and see that I missed something or misspoke, put it in the comments. I don't want to be giving out bad info. So we're going to start with the striker fired. The Glocks, Smith & Wesson, this is an FN 509C Tactical, the HK VP9, etc. They have no external safeties. Now you can get models with external safeties, but on striker fired guns, it seems, that's why people choose these type of firearms, because the only safety is most of them have a hinge trigger, or there is a little blade in there that your finger has to be on to release the trigger so that you can fire the firearm. When you insert a magazine, load a round in it, it's done. Keep your finger out of the trigger guard. They are very safe. They're drop safe. As long as you don't pull the trigger, they will not go off. What a lot of people like about them is the trigger pull is constant. Every trigger pull is the same. Now, a lot of people are uncomfortable carrying a gun like this because it has no safeties or anything. Plenty of people carry them, and they are safe. You just have to follow, your gun safety rules. Keep your finger out of this trigger guard if you don't want it to go off. We'll hop over here. This is a double action, single action, meaning when you put a magazine in it and you rack it, it has a hammer. A lot of them have a decocker here. This one has a decocker button on the back. You can decock that hammer safely. It will not go off. There's a hammer block there. It can't hit the firing pin. Now, you can very safely carry this gun. Your first shot is going to be a long double action trigger pull, similar to a revolver. You pull it back. When the slide reciprocates, the hammer stays back though. So your following shots are going to be single action. A lot of people don't like that difference between the double action long trigger pull and then the single action very short and light trigger pull. Another thing, after you're done firing, if you're going to reholster this, you have to decock that. It's not a big issue. You just have to remember to do that. If you use this type of firearm, just train to always decock that hammer before it goes back in your pocket. Now there are double action only variants of this where every trigger pull is long and difficult. Therefore, it is a very safe gun to carry. This is very safe. It just, sometimes that long trigger pull is not going to go off accidentally, and people are more comfortable carrying that style of weapon. So we're going to shoot these a little bit and just show the differences and how they, just the characteristics of handling them. We're going to start out with a striker fired. I've got 3 rounds loaded. This firearm is ready to go, ready to be holstered. Just keep your finger out of that trigger guard. If you had to shoot this in self-defense or even on the range, you draw it, pull it. Everything's the same trigger. If you were done, you could reholster this weapon right now. There's no extra steps. Keep your finger out of the trigger guard and reholster. We've got one more in there though. That's your striker fired. We're going to go with the double action HK now. We've got 3 rounds in it. Insert the magazine, but your hammer's back. So you have to decock that. Now, if you drew this to shoot it, the very first trigger pull is going to be a long, heavy, double action trigger pull. It's smooth, but it is heavy. If you'll notice, that hammer stayed back. So your following shot is going to be a very, very light single action trigger pull. Now, if you were going to reholster this gun right now, there's still a cartridge in here. You would have to decock that hammer again and then reholster. You could draw it again, and you're back in business. Either one of these style pistols are fine. They're both great guns. It's going to come down to what a person, what the shooter, what the owner, what the new buyer is more comfortable carrying. I would suggest getting a hold of both of them. If you have a friend or something, shoot them. See which one you're more comfortable with. That is really what it boils down to. I don't have a preference. They're both great guns. I personally do feel a little bit better carrying a double action semi-auto, even though there's a few more steps you have to take. If you do shoot the gun and you don't run your magazine dry, you don't go to slide stop, you just have to remember to decock that pistol. That trigger pull is really light whenever it's in single action mode. The striker fired guns, once you train, they're very easy to train with. There is less of a training curve there. You load it, keep your finger out of the trigger guard, put it in the holster, pull it out, shoot it. Even if you don't run dry, just follow those safety rules of not putting your finger in here, holster it. So it is a quicker learning curve on a striker fired handgun, but they're both great. If there are some more experienced shooters that have watched this and I missed something, which I probably did, or if I misspoke, I'm not going to say I wouldn't do that either. Put it in the comments. Information is great. Knowledgeable information is the most valuable thing that you can give a new shooter. I appreciate y'all watching, and have a great day.